What does a 14-year-old see on TikTok? Is it something like this?
Had me wishing on a shooting star.
Or this? Lately, I've been seeing a lot of stories in the news about the dangers of what young people are seeing on TikTok. Things like how Business Insider found out it took only 8 minutes of scrolling on TikTok for a 14-year-old to see videos about plastic surgery, and a 10-year-old died after participating in a trend she saw on TikTok. TikTok also recently changed creator capabilities for 13 to 15-year-old accounts, which is probably why things like how to change age on TikTok are now trending on Google Trends. Based on these stories, it sounded like younger people were seeing some pretty crazy stuff on the app. It also gave me an impression that TikTok wasn't doing a great job of serving age-appropriate content to them. So I decided to see for myself. I went undercover as a 14-year-old named Purple Ice Cream 8 to discover what a 14-year-old sees on TikTok. I headed to the For You page, then watched the first 100 videos that came up and recorded different aspects about the content. The qualities I noted about each video were things like what topics were the videos on, was there swearing in the video, what TikTok features were used, were there effects or was it a stitch or a duet video, and I also noted down how many and what type of ads I was seeing. I also used the movie classification system from the Motion Picture Association to give each video a maturity rating, which is a spectrum that starts with G and goes all the way to NC-17 and gives advice as to who should be watching that content, according to the inclusion of things like violence, sexual activity, drug abuse, and swearing. Purple Ice Cream 8 had no history of likes or comments on any videos, and I didn't like or comment on any videos so as not to influence what the algorithm showed me. During the process, I realized we needed something to compare against, so I also created an 18-year-old account named Older Ice Cream 8 and repeated the same steps by looking at the first 100 videos on the FYP. And after watching 100 videos as the 14-year-old Purple Ice Cream 8 and the 18-year-old Older Ice Cream 8, I found that there were some significant differences in the viewing experience, in terms of the subject matter in the videos shown and the TikTok features that were used in the videos. Surprisingly though, there were few differences in the ads experience. Let's start with subject matter. It seemed that TikTok was filtering content to some degree, as the 18-year-old saw much more mature content than the 14-year-old. The ratings for the 14-year-old were mostly PG-13 and under, while the 18-year-old saw a lot more R-rated videos, mostly due to the videos mentioning sexual or violent activity and the use of the F-word. That being said, swearing was also more frequent and harsher in the 18-year-old videos, because while the 14-year-old saw a couple uses of the F-word, swearing was mostly limited to the expletives that start with S and B, whereas the 18-year-old saw many more uses of the F-word in addition to these other ones. The topics of the videos also differed noticeably. Content seen on the younger Purple Ice Cream 8 account was mostly comedy and or commentary on family relationships, such as skits where a parent imitates what their kids are like. On the other hand, the 18-year-old content was a lot more distributed across a couple topics, with significantly more speaking-based videos such as story times or advice. This made me wonder, could it be that humorous content is just what 14-year-olds prefer as opposed to speaking-based videos? Or is TikTok intentionally serving mostly comedy and family content because they passed some safety screening test? I also found that almost all the R-rated videos on both accounts were dark humor, where the creators joked about serious topics like murder and abuse. For example, as per the Motion Picture Association rating guidelines, we gave an R rating to the following video which showed up in the 14-year-old account, mostly due to its use of the F-word in a sexual context.
Dad, you might want to come in here. This guy just told me to take my shirt off. I told him I'm 11 years old. You're not about to me. I'm getting my dad.
He's your doctor, Derek.
Okay. Okay, so he just put his hand up my shirt, told me to take a deep breath. I know he's about to me now. Can you come in here and tell him that I'm not down for this?
Derek, he's your doctor. Get in there.
Okay. He just put his hand down my pants.
It's a physical.
Oh, okay.
What's wrong with you?
Hey, okay, so you're right. He is a doctor.
Everything turns out to be fine in the end, but it jokes about what can be a serious topic. This brings up another age-old question. Where should creators and TikTok itself draw the line with dark humor? And if something is said in a funny context, does that make it more okay? On a separate but related note, the 14-year-old account was also shown this video.
Who's the man? You're the man. Strong, healthy, black man. Huh? Dun dun dun, dun dun dun. What you gonna eat? Dun dun dun, something healthy. Hell no!
While this particular video isn't the worst thing in the world, it does bring up another question. How can a safety algorithm catch videos where nothing super questionable is verbally spoken or visibly shown, but holds an implied message specific to the context that you might not want younger people to see? In addition to subject matter, there was also a difference in what TikTok features were used in the videos shown to the 14-year-old versus the 18-year-old. TikTok might be trying to hook younger viewers with videos that are more shiny by serving content that uses music and the effects or filters that are unique to TikTok. There was some type of music in 22 of the videos shown to the 14-year-old account versus only 16 shown to the 18-year-old. Similarly, effects were used in 9 of the videos shown to the 14-year-old versus only 2 to the 18-year-old. And the effects used were mostly the green screen filters, which are commonly used in the comedy skit videos, the highest category of content by far that was seen by the 14-year-old account. This brings up the question again. Are younger people just more interested in this content and thus make it go viral? Or is TikTok intentionally advertising their own effects in an attempt to grab younger users' attention away from every other app competing for eyeballs? On the flip side, TikTok might also be trying to hide certain features from younger users, as the 14-year-old account saw fewer Stitch videos than the 18-year-old account. Stitch is a TikTok feature that was launched a few months ago where a user can use part of another user's video in their own. And recently, TikTok has added enhanced privacy on this feature for 13 to 15-year-olds. While younger users can still make stitches, no one can make a stitch from their video. Showing a 14-year-old fewer Stitch videos would probably reduce their awareness and use of the feature overall though, which makes me wonder if that was TikTok's motivation behind this. Interestingly, there are almost no duets shown at all for both accounts. This could be because duets don't get as popular easily and thus don't get promoted by the algorithm, since they're usually on niche topics that only a TikToker's fans would be interested in. Now, advertising to teens is a historically controversial topic that even TikTok is not immune to, as it's been accused of hidden advertising. However, the ad experience for the 14-year-old and 18-year-old were surprisingly pretty similar and not very noteworthy. Out of 100 videos that we saw on each account's For You page, a similar number of them were ads. And they also advertised similar products. Almost all the ads were promoting mobile apps, such as phone wallpaper makers or news sites. This could be chalked up to the fact that, like most social media platforms, TikTok uses your engagement history to personalize the ads you see. But since both accounts had no history of likes or comments and no evidence of what content they actually like to see, TikTok only had the fact that they had a phone to go off of, and so served ads relevant to a phone user. With this experiment, we set out to discover what a 14-year-old sees on TikTok and whether the content they saw was age appropriate. For the most part, it seems like it was. The 14-year-old and 18-year-old accounts saw pretty different content on their For You pages, where the 14-year-old saw content with less swearing, mentions of violence or sexual activity, and content generally centered around comedy and family relationships. The 14-year-old also saw videos that had more TikTok features like effects and music, but they saw fewer stitched videos. And for me, the ultimate question that this all boils down to is how much of these differences are due to TikTok adjusting and filtering the algorithm intentionally from the top versus users of different ages just engaging more and liking different content, and thus making that type of content more viral and be more likely to end up on the For You page. And while it does look like TikTok did a mostly good job with serving age-appropriate content from our experiment, we did only look at 100 videos for each age. How does this hold up over the hours, days, weeks, months that people are consuming content on their platform? TikTok is also an extremely influential platform that has sped up the process of virality. It seems like a new trend is going viral every week. So in the grand scheme of things, while it's easy to discount the impact of just a single minute-long video, it still remains a fact that one video can do a lot of damage. What people see on TikTok matters, and TikTok needs to do their part to ensure that headlines like this never happen again. Thanks for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe to our channel to learn more about TikTok and modern creators. And if you have any questions or other experiments you want us to do, let us know in the comments below. We'll see you in the next one.